So at first I thought this was going to be a quick bite, and then I thought, well, I don't want to rush it. And I wanted to film it sideways, not vertically. Welcome to Post-Apocalyptic Mukbang. I believe this is number 6. Traditional palate cleanse. Smoking on the Largo, but I'm in the money again, so get papers while I can. Flies in the coffee. Going with the VII French roast in my French press. Otherwise, same technique. It's been using a teapot to get it hot. Okay, so today's is going to be kind of short because it's not a full meal. It is breakfast. It's currently mess with my camera too bad, but no, I can't even check it. I want to say it is 8-ish in the morning. These are tomatoes that I grew, that I've literally just cut from the plant. These fruit are still alive. This qualifies for the post-apocalyptic mukbang because these are tomatoes grown from seeds that are, 10 or 15 years old, that were in storage. And they were grown out in the wild. They were, they were put in a garden, but they were not, I didn't use the little planter pods or acclimate anything. The plant growth was stunted for a little while because I needed to get a cut milk carton top on top of it for a bit, and I hadn't. And once I did that, then the plant thrived. So there are 2 other sets of 2 that are growing, maybe 3 on it right now. It's probably all I'm going to get off of this plant. These took a while to ripen. The other ones I think are going a little faster. I seem to recall these are cherry tomatoes. They're a little bit bigger than a grape for sure. And I've already rinsed these off. It's a tasty tomato. Better than what you get at the store, for sure. These guys survived 2 or 3 different times that the wind and storms knocked the plant down. The lettuce kept getting knocked down and it started stunting, and I wasn't eating salads enough to keep eating it, so it's all going to seed now. Very sweet, full flavored. Delicious. That is the first fruit of any sort. The lettuce leaves, I guess, are the first harvest. Uh, does not look like the sugar snap pea plant survived. It grew a bit. It was also stunted. The thing is, some of these seeds, I'm not sure if they were GMO or not, and they were planted out of season. And their ideal zone, time, and everything on the packet was completely off. Climate shifting. So yeah, if you are able to find some old seeds you can plant, you're gonna have to plant a fuckload, a lot of seeds. That's my advice. I went with square foot garden. I got the one enclosure. It's a 3 foot by 3 foot, and if I'd actually concocted the mix that you're supposed to use instead of trying to approximate the same from wild soil, which had all kinds of, there was the black topsoil came from flower pots, and one of the I think there were petunias grew out. There were petunia seeds in there, and that's funny because the store-bought plants that you get that you set into pots, like we had always gotten for years and years, and see them in many of my older videos. We used to grow those in town as well, and they were a thing that they were in the pot when you got them already a flower, and you planted them, and they lasted all year, and they grew a bit and made more flowers, and then at the end of the year they would die. And we occasionally had ones that would come back and they weren't supposed to, and then we had other ones that would give seed even though they weren't supposed to. But at the same time, at that location, we also had a hydrangea plant with 3 different colors on it. So, had its own thing going there. But anyways, yeah, so I had like a petunia in this garden too. If I started everything in pods, if I had a safe location to put them in the sun in a warm spot, and put them out once they're acclimated and done the process as I've done in the past, I think I would have had a really super healthy garden. This one was kind of an in extremis experiment. None of the corn survived unless that's what I'm finding out in the yard somewhere. It got eaten by a rodent that was up inside the planter box. Speaking of which, there is one corn plant that survived the deer enough that it actually had a tassel. I'm actually going to look up at some point today how corn pollinates and see if there's something I can do to get it to make ears. And I'll have ears of corn growing up right next to where I walk. But everything is a delayed planting volunteer. Everything, it's a different cycle out here. It's weird. So anyways, rant over. This has been Post-Apocalyptic Mukbang, and if you were to find some tomatoes growing in a bad situation, by all means, eat them.